The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
We have Mike from Chicago on the line, and he has a question about digestion.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love the show. I think it's great programming, and I'm very much of a like mind when it comes to, taking control of your own health and certainly doing your own research.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Happy Friday, folks, and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we analyze and deconstruct the latest news pertaining to your health, fitness, and diet, where we break down what we hear and what we read and see if it makes sense to us. And we encourage your participation by subscribing to our Health Signals newsletter and picking up some Primal Edge. Give us a call at 877-927-6648. I'm Nico Haan.
And I'm Paige Clarke.
And it's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day, and, talking about Primal Edge, it's flying off the shelves.
Yes, it is.
We're thrilled.
Yes, we are.
Thrilled.
Yeah, thank you very much, everybody.
And
it's like fall here. It's like 70 degrees, folks. It's going to be the high of 76 today. Beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day. Yeah, this is our beautiful time of year.
Yep.
But tell us, Nico, you were out making us proud again.
Well, I actually lost the last match, which was a real dynamite match with the guy. I've got it on Facebook here. Let me just bring it up.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to show people your beautiful medal.
Oh, thank you.
Gorgeous silver medal.
This is some tattoos here on the telestrator here that some group of guys that I was supporting, and he won his first match.
Oh, I bet that was exciting.
This is Carlos Gracie Jr., the master, Carlos Gracie, the head of our organization.
The Carlos Gracie
Beautiful.
Jr., wow.
And here's where Pat beat me. A beautiful match, real close, 2 points.
Pat before. Have you ever fought him before?
I've never fought him. I met him a couple times. Real nice guy, real gentleman. We a fierce battle, and he came out on top. So what can I say? It's good. This is AJ and myself.
You both are winners as far as I'm concerned.
And here's where we were on the podium.
Nice.
And some of the friends from Arizona and AJ again.
Very nice.
And here we are in front of the pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are again. That's with Eduardo. Mm-hmm. So that was the...
So you're taking a little break now, you said, till after the
that was the last one for the year for me, and plan on probably doing the Pan Ams in the springtime. That's when it starts for me again. So we'll see what happens. It's
you're off till March, kind of?
Off to March, yeah.
But of course, that doesn't mean you're off. You're still practicing.
Yeah, we're still competing in the dojo, just learning things. And
did you all get a new dojo again?
We went to a new address, and it's really a great dojo because there's like 30-foot wide, 60-foot long mats. Really nice. We're having a real good time there.
Good.
There's a lot of mat space, and enjoying to get back. I took the week off, but tomorrow I'm going there. It's be ceremonial day anyway. They're giving some new belts to people and stuff. So
you go there to support the promotion of your colleagues, your team.
I want to roll a little bit, so I want to get back on the mat.
Very good. Very good.
Get my daily fix, kind of. So.
Yay! Well, we have a new Health Signals newsletter.
Yes, we do. Yeah, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Okay.
Before that.
Okay.
Because I got a couple of emails.
Because they're so good.
Oh, well, thanks. Okay. I got this from Tim. He's one of our listeners. He says, I'm an avid fan listening to you and Paige on Tiger TV, probably one of the first to sign up for Primal Edge daily supplements. Love the show, love the Primal Edge. He said, I just watched a video on YouTube called Food That Kills, and it's a lecture by Michael Caper.
Dr. Michael Caper.
Dr. Michael Caper, yeah. And he says in the lecture, he states that animal flesh and beef and poultry, even fish, is not good for you, causes cardiovascular disease, too much fat, even in the leanest types of meat. Animal flesh, of course, is unhealthy. Also banned all the dairy products, even eggs. He says, man, I love eggs and get them fresh from the farm. And even olive oil is not considered is not considered unhealthy, or I'm not sure what he meant by that, but his basic argument seems to be that animal fats and solids at room temperature will act the same in your body after you eat them. Of course, that's false, and will eventually lead to cardiovascular disease. Of course, we talked about these things all on and on again. These are old views. They're definitely views that are touted by the vegan and vegetarian
Yes,
population.
and he finishes, I do like, let's just say this, I have changed my diet to only grass-fed beef and organic chicken and wild fish and have cut back on the amounts that I consume. I think that's a wise move, and I like that because I actually do think that, and I think when I came on the show, I have a lot of people that think, we're running around with brontosaurus steaks. Remember Fred Flintstone? It's not that, our primal people probably, when they had to kill, they had to share it amongst a lot of people. Everyone got a small portion. And then they saved those skins and bones and connective tissue and the brains and the organs and so forth. But I hear this again and again, and there are people who I respect their work very much who, tout this kind of stuff, have a lot of faith, bring up the China study and all of this. And remember that all of these tests they've done on cardiovascular disease, was based on conventionally raised foods, grain-fed, factory-farmed, high-stress meats and so forth. So I do want you to realize the context of what these studies are. We just haven't gotten people to catch up and start doing studies, testing those of us who are eating wild meats. It makes sense that if you eat an animal that's eating its natural food, natural forage, then you're going to have a different result, a different food altogether.
Yeah. Well, I of course, had watched this movie quite a bit before, many years.
Actually saw this?
But I actually went back and looked at it again, because he's also quoting Ornish, those people, Did
Dr. Ornish die of a...
I don't think he died, but many people, like Steve Jobs, who was under his diet, of course, died of cancer. But that's really not the point. I mean, anybody can get cancer and die from it. And a lot of people are naturally these days. But I think it's the wrong way to go, the vegan diet. But so we have a different philosophy.
Well, it's an extremist. Just as it would be if all you ate was big, huge brontosaurus steak burgers or something.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be an extreme approach, too.
It's so hard to get people off of the bandwagon of saying that fats are not good for you.
It's just been almost like the word has evolved. We talk about the abnormal fat that we store that is a result of this modern life of carbohydrates and so forth. And this abnormal fatty adipose tissue that has come to make us look like a different species.
Yeah.
And it also has the same name, fat.
Yeah.
So we have this connotation,
Yes, and there are definitely bad fats. And when he's talking about the fats being solid at room temperature, that actually is not the way it works in our body, because our body is much higher degree. We're 97.5.
Yeah, it gets warmed up. And the better way to think about your fats, Tim, is the fats that are at room temperature solid, or so to speak, are your saturated fats. That means that there's no room on the bus. There's no empty seats for a free radical to slide in and cause damage to that fat. And so they don't get damaged in the body. On the other hand, a lot of polyunsaturated fatty acids in the wrong forms or damaged through the way they're used have open spots on the bus.
Yeah.
Room for breakage, room for the free radicals to create a different type of fat that we don't want.
Yeah, and of course all the manufactured fats that we often talk about, like the soy and the rapeseed, which is canola oil, and cottonseed oil, which was began in the 1940s. All industrial types of things, and they were solid in a way, and they were actually manufactured to stay liquid, and hence give you an impression that it's going to be much healthier than the solids, when the reverse is actually true. These chemical types of fats are not good for you. They're full of free radicals. They get rancid very easily.
They're already rancid before you buy them.
Yeah, exactly.
You walk down a grocery store and you see those bottles all stacked. Every one of them is already a rancid oil. And think how many people just fill it.
And ask yourself, for thousands of years we used tallow and bacon fat, and all kinds of animal fats for thousands of years. That's how we evolved. Right. So if they were bad for us, we wouldn't be here right now.
Correct. And
what's happening is the reverse is happening. Now we're using that other crap, and maybe we won't be here, after another 1,000 years because of that.
And what you have to understand is when we do eat conventional meat, since, hey, some of us end up doing that, we're out,
Yeah.
But they are eating those those plants, the soy and the canola and the genetically modified alfalfa, and that's not what they're supposed to be eating.
Right.
And so in some ways we're still getting the the exposure to those fatty acids.
Yeah, I was looking for wild duck because my wife and I, again, at Thanksgiving are going to have a duck. And, we have pastured ducks that are being fed soy. And we're feeding them natural food, soy and corn.
Use the word natural. There's nothing natural about a duck eating soy and corn.
No, because they're eating bugs. They're eating lots of things. I mean, they're picking their food. And, of course, on the water, there's not, there's algae and stuff that they eat. Well, they eat a lot of algae, and they eat bugs. And I don't know about worms, but, definitely insects.
Maybe some little tiny little...
And probably fish, I'm sure. I mean, they're swimming all the time. Anyway. So they're not vegetarians.
Yeah. So I think you're on the right track there, Tim. And, go with your intuition on that a little bit. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of research out there that supports, a clean, conscious, properly raised animal foods in small to moderate amounts, not huge amounts, with healthy, unadulterated fats and a considerably low amount of carbohydrates, because we keep seeing in the news that carbohydrates are, we've got an article we wanted to go over today.
Yeah, we're going to definitely go over that. In the chat room, they're talking about, is there any proof of that, the vegans? And, of course, they have their proof.
They cite the China study.
Yeah, they cite a lot of things that have proven false over the years, and they use a lot of logic that would make you think that it's the right way to eat, because it just makes sense that killing animals is bad. They don't talk about the thousands of insects and different animals that are completely displaced by just getting a cornfield down, because you kill everything. Farming kills everything except what you're farming. Wild is much better, because then you're very much diversified.
That's really what it's all about,
yes.
being wild.
Yeah.
And, and just in, having honor for whatever works best for a person, there's a lot of good things. A lot of people improve their health on whether it's a primal diet or whether it's a vegan diet when they actually, get rid of processed foods. But I see in both of these camps, so to speak, people are still using a lot of processed packaged foods that are kind of sugarcoating the idea, you know, and we all, we're all out and about, and we get hungry.
Well, the best thing you can do for yourself, for sure, is get rid of all the toxicity, which means cleaning up your food, no matter what you decide to do.
The first thing is that all of your food should be non-GMO. That is, we are the experiment.
Yeah.
Of this generation.
We don't want to be in that experiment, that's for sure.
There are great healers and physicians and so forth that just make that the first rule. When any person has any type of disease, the first thing is all of your food must be non-GMO.
And I'll add another thing, is if you can eat it raw and not get sick, the food is good for you. And if you do, and so that eliminates a lot of grains and beans and those things which we call staples in our kind of American diet, that proves they're not really good for you. Because what's good for you is if you can eat it raw, right there, fresh, then you can eat it. But you're not going to do that with a cob of corn. You're not going to eat it raw.
Well, that's interesting.
Any grains.
Well, but I know, there's some good nutrition in raw corn for getting lutein and zeaxanthin.
Yeah, but not as a staple, I'm talking about.
No, not a staple.
Folks, we'll be right back. We're going to go over the Health Signals newsletter and talk about a lot of these things that we're just rambling on about. So,
as long as it's organic.
As long as it's organic. There you go.
Corn.
I like it. We'll be right back.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated folic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive.
We take it every morning. Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Think or Swim, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back. I'm Paige Clarke. And you know what? Nico and I are talking about all kinds of cool stuff. But, you know, you were out rolling around getting sweaty on the mats. And we got an article from Matt's Wisdom. Toxic chemicals in your deodorant.
You know how I came about this? It was Joey, one of my Facebook friends, who was asking me about different deodorants, and he started using milk and magnesia.
Yeah, we were talking about that
a couple weeks ago. And he mentioned that the crystal that he had, a lot of the crystal sticks, which I use, have all kinds of chemicals in them that are natural.
Someone comes up with a natural idea, and then other people produce it. But
so the one I use is up on the telestrator here.
Yep, I have that too. And
it's the crystal one, and it's the only one I found that really doesn't have these toxins in them. And
so let's talk about that, guys. What happens when you use these mineral salts underneath your armpits? And let's think of this from a holistic standpoint. You know, that's where all of your lymph chain is, you know, and it's a very important point of accumulation of toxins in the body that are then, you know, ported to the central lymph channel. We don't want to have some of these toxic known carcinogens that are in everybody's deodorant. I think it's much better to just go ahead and stink. But you don't have to. You don't have to. Use one of these.
Well, us guys don't stink the same way you girls do. So
you sweat, we glisten.
That's it.
But these mineral salts, some people said to me, "Oh, they're too hard." Well, you simply just run them under the water, and that makes it. That makes it. My mic. Something's going on with my mic, but I hope it's okay. that helps them to come off on your arm well, and so you're not like rubbing a hard salt stick. Just run under the water and use it.
Well, you use something else too, don't you?
Oh, you remember we've brought it in before. The ozone. I use an ozonated olive oil. You know, I mean, a little tiny dab will do you for like 3 days.
Wow.
And I like the idea of oxygen getting into my lymph nodes, so it's kind of like doing therapy at the same time that you're producing. You know, I love finding ways.
The reason I use the crystals because it lets you sweat. So it doesn't block anything, and it doesn't have any odor whatsoever. And if you miss a day, it doesn't go away. I mean, you're protected for a few days, just like you said.
So here's another thing. You know, if you have coconut oil, you can use it as a moisturizer. You have a crystal deodorant stone. You can use that for these things. We're finding ways to stop buying these unconscious products, these dangerous products, and save money. I was driving the other day, and I looked at a Walgreens, and I thought, I was trying to remember when I had been in there.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me, and we have a new one just down the road.
And I used to be the type of person who stopped there because, you know, you had to get a beauty product or something, you know, pick up something, a makeup or something, and you just don't do it anymore. And so it's kind of neat when you start to realize ways that you can, you know, utilize foods from your kitchen. You know, have I ever told you about my little way I take a beet? I use it as a blush.
Really?
Yeah, it stains your cheeks.
Oh, that makes sense.
Beautiful.
It's red.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. It's it's natural skin colored, and you can kind of soften it up a little bit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, us guys don't use that kind of
Let food be your
stuff.
medicine. Let it be your makeup too.
There you go. Makes sense to me. So we have the Health Signals newsletter. I just want to kind of go over it. Some real good articles leading off with, if you want to be healthy, you've got to reduce your carbohydrate intake. And this also has a video with it, so watch the video.
So there you go, guys. If you get the Health Signals newsletter, you'll be able to just click right through, come back to the main content of the newsletter. But we see this again and again, don't we? That those people who... this is really interesting because it's got the typical Western diet, the carbohydrate reduction, and the keto adaptation.
Yeah.
You know, so people can really see the benefits of getting rid of it.
Then it's got some natural flu fighters and natural products you can use. Honey found to be potent, of course, for flu.
And you know why? Because the honey produces hydrogen peroxide.
Exactly.
It's going to kill stuff.
Healthy lifestyle may cut the risk of stroke in women. Very good article. The truth about bacon, nitrates, and saturated fats. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Some GMO bacteria is used in a lot of sweeteners. You need to really be aware.
And a lot of those stories about the Splenda.
A lot of links to this. HPV
Human
vaccines.
papillomavirus vaccines are unnecessary. Folks, if you know anyone that's has a active HPV virus, if I were them, I would look at active forms of folate. Hey, guess what? We have the active form of folate in Primal Edge.
No kidding.
Now, usually if this is a condition for about a month or so, you're going to like double dose for a little while, but usually you can go back and find out you have a clear path.
So these two articles are really about vaccinations, this one about autism. And then we go into ozone therapy. Is it a possible answer to Ebola? Very interesting stuff in here and up to date. Then we have a spotlight, which is a book talking about metaphysical things. Got some great recipes, of course.
Oh, maybe some that you're going to want. Oh, it looks like the crispy roast duck.
Yeah. And
Very nice.
Got roasted butter squash soup.
Oh.
Got some primal exercises. And
hey, that's me.
Yeah. And at the very end, I've got a podcast here that I did about jiu-jitsu. Pretty interesting.
Are you in it?
Take a look at. I am. I'm the whole interview.
Awesome. Oh, that's the interview that you were telling us about last week. Great.
So we'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-5600. 8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Nico and Paige here, and we have a caller from the Villages in Florida. Pat is on the lines.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, Pat, how you doing?
Hi. Good. I'm doing much better since I've been on your diet.
Oh, wonderful.
Ooh, good news.
I was wondering, what has anybody brought to your attention the new study that they just talked about in this morning's Investors Business Daily?
No, I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, it's on page 2, and they're saying it says a high-fat diet may add to years.
Ha-ha, maybe they're catching on, huh?
Right.
Investors Daily.
Yeah, it seems the University of Copenhagen did a study with mice, and they found that on this diet, physical and mental aging, including the onset of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, may be postponed by a high-fat diet.
Hallelujah. Well, as you know, Pat, we've shared the fact that the higher your cholesterol level is, the longer you live. And isn't that completely opposite of what they're telling you? Once you get to be a certain age.
Well, it's a problem when the food companies are making policy, and that's what seems to be happening for the last 50 years, not only in the United States, but pretty much all over the Western, what we call the modern world. And I think people are starting to wake up. This paleo movement, I think, has helped a lot in that. I don't think it's the perfect answer, but I think once you start realizing that these fats are really good for you, you can kind of look at the path of what's been happening for the last 50 and 25 years to our mental state as a whole, not only the older people, but the younger people, ADD kids and autism and all these things I think have
and
a
Alzheimer's,
factor there. And
like
Alzheimer's.
One of the articles we have on our list today. Again, the fats are crucial nutrients we need for repair and regeneration.
Yeah.
So
what we say is that you really have to investigate and find out where the good fats are, where the good proteins are, and when you eat some carbohydrates, you have to understand they're medicine and they can help too, but you have to have them organic.
Yes, that's definitely true. I don't know if you follow stocks at all, but the Kellogg's and a lot of these grain and cereal companies, they're having problems now because I think people are wising up and they're moving away from them, and they're getting off of all the sugar. They want organic. Hain Celestial is doing very well. Whole Foods Market is doing very well, and people aren't going down the center aisle anymore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of those big conglomerates are buying them up. I don't know if Hain's is one of them, but I saw a chart that showed that a lot of those conventional, companies, Pat, were buying up the organic companies. Hopefully, they'll still stay. It's working and they want to grab it. But thanks for sharing that wonderful information, and we're so glad to hear that you're feeling good results. Have you tried the Primal Edge yet?
No, I haven't, but I think I should.
You will love it. You will love it. It's like a one-shot wonder.
Yep.
I think I heard about the book that got me going was Why You're Fat and What to Do About It. I think I heard about it. I think you talked about it on your show, and I got that book, and I've given it and shared it with a lot of other people. And I go out now shopping, and I look at the people in the store, and I go, American diet, American diet.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah, your eyes are wide open now, and you can sort of see the story unfolding, and you can see a way out. And that's a wonderful feeling, isn't it?
Thank you so much for letting us know that you're really doing well on the diet, because other people need that kind of reinforcement. Yeah, it's a lifestyle for sure.
Yeah, the lifestyle.
It is, and it's the only diet. I've tried every diet in the book, let me tell you, and it's the only diet that I lost the weight, kept it off effortlessly, and like you say, once you get rid of the sugar, once you get rid of the flour and all that crap, and get it out of your diet, you don't crave it anymore.
That's right.
When I was on that, I was constantly food seeking. Well, what am I going to eat next? What have I got to eat? Yeah,
that's so true. When I'm doing these competitions, I generally eat in the morning. I don't fight till late afternoon, and I have to eat some fat, so I usually use butter. But I just don't get hungry. And even after you fight and you go out and finally it's 8 o'clock at night, you get something to eat, and you can say, oh, yeah, I can eat something, but it's no big deal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we're celebrating your success with you, and if you hit any bumps or you have any questions, remember, you can give me a call, email me, Paige at TFNN.com. I'll be glad to give you a complimentary consultation because you're a TFNN listener.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Pat. Appreciate your call.
Okay, bye now.
Bye now.
I love that when we get great feedback about people making some changes, and then she shared some great news. That's what we're here for, guys. Share information. This is our resource. It's kind of like our powwow. All of us, it's our tribe. We're all working together.
It's really good news. I had some people knocking on my door a couple of weeks ago before my trip, and they were talking about the good news that they were going to give me, and of course with Jehovah's Witness and stuff like this. But this is real good news. This is something that's really good for your health and good for your soul. And when you start turning the corner by realizing that these foods, which are really poisonous for our bodies, we're talking about the grains, we're talking about the fast food stuff, we're talking about
fats.
What we're using as a staple now as opposed to what we used to use. The whole thing is upside down, and once you take those bad foods out of your diet and start realizing that fat is the satisfier, that is the fuel that keeps you going, and you don't need a lot of it, you don't need a lot of protein, and you don't worry about those carbs.
And you have a constant blood sugar and you feel good all day. You're talking about the fats. How about this article, the vitamin deficiency that is written all over your face? And guess what, guys? That vitamin is a fat-soluble vitamin.
There's the face right there.
Yeah.
Start seeing the wrinkles.
This came from the Healthy Home economist, Sarah Pope. I really like her work. She's actually chapter leader for the Weston A. Price Foundation, actually here in Tampa. But she's got quite a great blog if you ever want to visit it, the Healthy Home Economist. The question is, are wrinkles an inevitable part of aging, or is there something else at work under the, below the scenes?
Well, our body has amazing abilities to regenerate. That's one thing it always does.
Well,
and why should it degenerate with wrinkles? It doesn't make much sense. I can see if you're folding something all the time and laugh lines and things like that. But when you're talking about toxicity coming out of your body, your liver and all these organs that are supposed to clean the system are clogged up. That's what's happening, isn't it?
Well, interesting, as women age, men age too, but we're kind of focusing on women here because this probably appeals to us more. But research findings of the Endocrine Society in Boston found that women in their 40s and 50s who have extensive skin wrinkling are much more likely than their peers to have low bone mass. So if, those of you that are listening and remember, what have we talked about that's really important for bone building? We always talk about the calcium and the magnesium and the vitamin D, but that famous X factor from Weston Price, vitamin K2.
Which only comes in animal food, right?
It does, correct. Well, there's one special thing, a fermented soybean called natto, okay? Mm-hmm. Highest content
and
of
also miso soup has it then, too.
So miso. Yeah. So see, it's a fermented form of, you could think of miso soup as a beauty soup.
Yeah.
And my Qigong teacher, we have a special cocktail that you can buy, fermented natto. In fact, I think it's one of the only places. It does not smell good if you go and buy it like from an Asian market.
Uh-huh.
But we have it in kind of a dried form. It's good. But guys, there's other places to get it. Vitamin K2 is the X factor that Weston Price and all his famous research identified as the X factor, the factor that contributed to outstanding health of cultures all over the world and unique. And he didn't know that it was what it was. He called it the X factor for years, but we now know it is vitamin K2, a fat-soluble vitamin. So where are some other places that you can find vitamin K2? In rapidly growing grass that cows eat, and they produce grass-fed butter. You can get some of the K2 that way, too. They were kind of...
Are they now also in organ meat?
Yes, duck, right. Goose, I think, is another place. And then, as many of you know, Gouda cheese is one particular strain of cheese that really has probably a daily serving.
That's why I love Gouda.
Well, I put a lot of my clients on a little happy hour snack. And
totally.
A healthy happy hour. It's a little shot of pomegranate, because, I quote that study that I really like,
right.
that a shot of pomegranate keeps the clogging in the arteries. Over a year will reduce the clogging around 30%. PubMed research says, evidence-based research. And so why not have yourself do as the French do, have a little pomegranate in a wine glass, maybe even have some real wine too.
Oh, yeah.
And have a couple slices of Gouda cheese, maybe with some olives.
Nothing wrong with that. And so olives, are they part of it, or is it just because the olives are
I just
sour?
mentioned olives because that sounded good to me. We got going. So the highest sources of K2 are natto, fermented soybean, goose liver, certain cheeses, and animal fats like egg yolk, butter, and lard, which must come from grass-fed animals. So did you hear what we said? Egg yolks. So, all these years, folks, where we were told, don't eat your egg yolks, have egg whites. When I see people eating egg whites, I'm like, oh, they are so misinformed.
And, we all bought into that.
Yeah.
We all bought into it.
I never really did. I really was never a fan of the egg white.
I never liked them, but I remember the scare, and I remember going to a place and saying, well, just give me the egg whites.
Oh, I bought into a lot of other stuff, but that wasn't the one I did. I like my egg yolks.
It's amazing how the propaganda just gets formed in your diet without any basis whatsoever, just because we hear the commercials or whatever.
So be mindful of that, and think about the years that we stopped eating eggs, and the heart disease thing didn't change. And think about the years we stopped eating eggs, and the bone brittleness increased, and all these people older were fearful of eating eggs, and now we see the bone brittling. So include a lot of these foods. Interesting. Natto contains a whopping 1,100 micrograms of K2 per 3.5-ounce portion. I don't know if anyone could ever eat a 3.5-ounce portion. That's why if you really want to get that kind of a dose of vitamin K2, healingfoods.com, I think is a girl that sells it for our Qigong group, healing-foods.com. That's a good source, but, go with the animal fat foods. I kind of like that idea.
the eggs and
Well, the amazing thing about living primal is today we have some real modern tools that you can go fishing.
Yeah.
You can go fishing on Google and find just about anything you need. Sometimes it's hard to find it, but most of the time you can find something and probably find some reviews.
And have it on your doorstep from Amazon the next day or something.
Pretty much. I mean, any time from a few days to a week, you can get just about anything you want in as far as the type of food that we're talking about. And the information is out there, too. You go to livingprimallifestyle.com.
Or contact either one of us, and we'll help you find it.
Yeah, we'll help you find the stuff. I mean, I get so many calls from people, help me do this, help me do that. I'm always glad to help because I know it's going to be affecting your health in such a positive way.
Right, all of our health.
Yeah.
So just a recap. Natto, fermented soybean, you got to make sure it's the right source, 1,100 micrograms. Then there's the goose liver pate, might be a nice little thing to add to your happy.
Well, that's better for the holidays.
Why not add the Gouda cheese, goose liver pate, and a shot of pomegranate? Okay.
And a little wine on the side.
Right, I love it. It's a great thing. I love coming up with ways that make food
I got my weekend all planned
fun.
already.
Yeah, and then Gouda cheese, and then it's only determined by the liver's requirement for normal clotting factors. But the good news is just eat those healthy foods, guys. And if you're not able to eat those foods, then do make sure you find a supplement that's got the active form of vitamin K2.
Which we do in the Primal Edge. Folks, please pick up your Primal Edge today. It's only $89 for a month's supply. You get everything you need in a liquid form, and it's powered by these great molecules we have. We call them miracle molecules, humic and fulvic acid, that actually opens the door to the cells and says, here I am, and the cell opens up and you receive all the nutrition from the right sources. We've done the investigation on that. We've trialed it. People are loving this product, so please pick that up, and also pick up my Health Signals newsletter. And you can still give us a call, of course, at 877-927-6648. And what else do we want to talk about?
Oh, just while you're saying that, this is kind of funny while I'm on this. There's research that's showing that an ancient Aboriginal food is also very high in vitamin K2. Interesting. It's the benefits of emu oil, which is the emu, that kind of ostrich type of bird. And that's what I use on my face.
Really?
Yep. It's very good. So that's interesting that, again, that K2 has been used as a beautiful skincare. A researcher that I really love, Lauren Pickard, skinbiology.com. I like his information about the importance of copper and emu. He says that emu is the most natural lubricant for our face.
Huh.
So, good news, huh?
Yeah, and copper, of course, has some type of healing properties, too.
Copper is extremely important in skin healing, and as you know, that was one of my things that we kind of went back and forth with on our formulation.
Yeah.
And remember, folks, that when you use the Primal Edge, everything that's in there is 100% absorbable. So whereas you buy a lot of capsules, you're absorbing maybe 10, 20, sometimes maybe 40% of what you're taking. That's why you're taking these doses. But in any case, I still wanted the copper to be higher. I'm doing a lot of research on natural anti-aging, and we have found that copper is the mineral, that's the youth mineral, found abundantly in youthful skin. And it's also important for skin healing and wound healing, and in fact, longevity. So there's a lot of great studies. My buddy Lauren Pickard, he's a PhD researcher, has a skincare company, but he's quite the researcher. It goes well beyond that. There's great research on how having these minerals in abundance can work. Of course, we balanced it out with zinc. We made sure we had more than enough zinc, fully absorbable. We got great copper, so your skin can pop back, like Dr. Wallach says. Forget about the plastic surgeon, just take copper.
Yeah, plastic surgery, boy, I don't ever want to try that myself.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Folks, we'll be right back. The number here is 877-927-6648. Please pick some products up, like the Primal Edge and my newsletter. And we'll be back in a minute.
See you next time.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive.
We take it every morning. Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living at Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders, take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Up next, the Diagnostics Trading Hour with Daryl Martin here on TFNN.
Hey there. So we're talking a little bit about fat-soluble nutrition. We kind of rolled into that because our first caller called in about the good research that was out in Investors Daily today, talking about people who eat fats live longer. And, you know, it's a good reason why. You know, healthy fats are found in a lot of our animal foods, you know.
Yes.
You know, and so, you know, we were just talking a little bit about the importance of vitamin K2. We already know it's important for cardiovascular disease. We've talked about that a lot. So a lot of you already know that that's, you know, we got that on the bandwagon. But it's also important for skin and aesthetic reasons. You know, I saw an article that had to do with another very important fat-soluble vitamin, which is vitamin A. Now, many people think that vitamin A is beta-carotene, and beta-carotene is only one of the carotenoids. Unfortunately, many of us don't make the conversion. I mean, not that beta-carotene is not a good thing to have, but, you know, we really need the true animal source of some of these vitamins.
So the beta-carotene is just one part of that?
Of a carotenoid family, of which we're still finding more members of. You know, I believe astaxanthin, you know, which is getting to be highly researched.
That's the product in the krill.
that makes the salmon red.
Right.
It's actually the carotenoid that actually causes. But vitamin A was the first vitamin isolated and studied by medical science. I didn't realize that, and until a few years ago, it was mainstream advice to take it because you need it for your eyes. Well, show me a person with dry eyes, show me a person with bad eye health, and I'll show you a person that does not have enough of a usable fat-soluble vitamin A. So if you're feeling dry eyes, kick up, make sure you're getting some good fatty, the more color to it, kind of like the salmon we have up on the teleprompter, is a good idea. We're finding other carotenoids that are not only better than vitamin A, but better than beta-carotene. In fact, they're up to 100 times more powerful. I think they're talking about astaxanthin. But this is really important, folks, because we now know that these carotenoids, along with many other phytochemicals, are very important to help prevent terrible diseases that over 70% of us over 70 are lined up to get, and that's macular degeneration, and that is not a great idea.
It seems like some of those staples that we were using, like the grains, actually take some of these things out of our bones.
They do. Well, as you said, the phytic acid is a nutrient. It inhibits us being able to absorb things and takes things out of where we are.
Yeah, so it's actually a double whammy in a sense, because if you're eating a grain-based diet, now just for digestion, you need these vitamins, so that if you're not getting the vitamins in the first place, then it's taking it out of your body. So you're losing twice as much in a sense, by not eating them and then by eating the wrong
Right, and you're getting the wrong forms. When I was commenting at the start of the show, and I made the comment, my eyes lit up when you said corn, and you're probably looking at me like, what are you talking about, corn? However, my Qigong teacher, a food healing teacher, really told me that the Indians knew that there were some very powerful phytochemicals locked in the cellulose fiber of corn. Primarily raw corn that they would occasionally use. So if you can imagine a beautiful salad and you add a tomato and some other things.
Using it as a garnish.
It's like a garnish.
Sure.
A garnish.
And that makes total sense.
Yeah, and corn has a sweet taste, and it also looks like the pancreas.
Okay.
So you look at, believe it or not, there's some nutrition in the corn that actually helps with the pancreas. So, I want to encourage people to try and include, I love getting nutrition from food. I mean, it's always the best way. We just want to help you find the food that's going to give you that. We've talked about an apple from, the package store, and we've talked about an organic apple. Just take a bite. You'll taste the difference in the nutrition. Don't you agree?
I agree.
So our primal ancestors really knew through thousands of years of practice the importance of the fat-soluble nutrition, not just for their own health, but for the health of their future generations. So they made it a part of their diet. So we've created a product that makes sure that you're getting as many of those natural things that our primal ancestors knew in their wisdom. So be wise and order Primal Edge, and then eat the best food that you can, and come see us here next week.
Yes, we'll be back next week, folks, and thanks for sticking around. And, of course, you can always email Paige and I, TFNN.com. See you next time.
Have a great week.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.